We are live now. I can't believe what I get away with. It's like really bad.
Your best jingles are always on Sundays, aren't they?
Maybe. Who knows? That could be. So we do this thing on Sunday where we do like a weekly roundup. Mostly it's just going to be like, holy frick on a stick. So now you know what that's going to be like. Because some stuff happened yesterday. And like it'd be cool too, like if we kind of go over and like be like, hey, what just happened?
I wasn't even expecting to talk about what happened on the YouTube channel. I figured we'd just get sidetracked with that. So yeah.
Yeah. I just realized that in this machine, I can actually load pictures. Because like there's this one. I don't even know what that was for, but I have all the memes that started popping up yesterday, or a lot of them, like this one.
And that's really cool, actually.
It's so good. As that Frenna person, I don't know if they're a dude or a lady or what the deal is, but I'm a fan.
Yeah, so I like these. Yeah.
Like just this is like, it's just I want to crawl into this meme and hug it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch I really liked our show, even though it was like a live broadcast to do the event, but having Nick and Nick on and Blue pop in for a while and just talking about the uplift and Greg, and it was really cool. You could just go and watch it back. I had a lot of fun with last night's show. And then of course, because I'm in Asia, you guys all went to bed and I spent the day awake at your nighttime, and the Telegram channel was on fire. And it's so I just wanted to address something like, the timing issue, right? Like there were some people that were kind of asking, asking and not, most of them, not being bitchy, not getting like overtly like,
yeah, just like having lots of questions.
Like a really nice community that we have. And thank you to everyone for your patience and your kindness and understanding that, we're kind of bootstrapping this in real time. And all the cool shit that we do, we sometimes, miscalculate. And so like all of the questions that are being asked in the Telegram, like we're working hard. Like I know other people are working hard, like harder than me probably, like to figure these answers out, to give everyone in the community like as clear-cut picture as you possibly can for the land things, for like up and coming events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, from my perspective, like I didn't actually get one of the bigger rail packs. They were gone by the time I got there, and I was live on the show with you.
Yeah, right? like 4 seconds blew my mind.
I got some rail packs, but not the big ones. Okay, so like I just want everyone to know, like Corey always says this, we had to purchase them as well, right?
Yep.
And we were not, honestly, like we said this multiple times, and like, honestly, we weren't shitting you. We were not even expecting these to really sell out. Like, never mind in 4 seconds or in like 15 minutes or in less than a day. So
yeah,
that's awesome in a way. It's a really awesome problem to have, but we do auto EOS. I think a lot of people spent a lot of wax on.
Dude, my wax stash from like all the music drops and like all the work that I've been doing all year went down by about 15%, which is like a non-trivial amount. But I wanted to get some for my wife to play around with, and like I wanted to get some for us and stuff, and it's weird. And I really did. Like, I'm excited to sort of run myself through the same, like I want to be in the same boat as everybody else, if that makes sense. Right. Because we're going to need to understand the economics of this thing to make it the engine that is in our vision, right? Like the economic engine where everybody is winning, and the uplift donate is winning, and the lights stay on to the company and the company is winning, right? So like we want to create this like win-win-win scenario, and so I think that's just going to speed it up if we're all sort of embedded in it ourselves.
It might be a little bit tough though, man, because those Minecraft boats are pretty small.
What's that?
Might be a little bit.
Oh, the Minecraft boats. Yeah. Can confirm.
I like this as well. We're actually going to probably do a little bit of a shorter episode today and go through some of this stuff. But before we begin, Corey, if it's okay with you, we actually had another project from the community reach out to us and give this some NFTs to give away to the community.
Oh, sweet.
And yeah, so I'm gonna do we're going to give some of them away to people in the comments here, I think, and we'll give some away random number generator for retweets. If you go to my Twitter account and tweet out for this live broadcast before this live broadcast ends. So if we could take maybe, well, it's not going to be that long, but a little bit of time to kind of go over what these guys are doing. That would be really cool. So I believe they go live in about 4 hours time. It's kind of a cool little project. It's called Graffiti NFTs. And essentially they are tagging NFTs that will start with an internal burn mechanism to tag and upgrade NFTs. It's kind of a cool little take on gamification of the burn gamification. And the end goal, which I think, Corey, you'll really like about this, is even though they're starting internal, their end goal is actually going to be to bring in other projects and have these NFTs work to like upgrade other projects' NFTs and from other collections and style effects into those NFTs on other collections. So I think that's really cool. We'll pull up the website just so maybe you can see. I think.
Yeah, you want to send it to me? I can do that. I was gonna go do the gratitude stuff.
Let's do gratitude. Let's do the gratitude stuff while I pull the website. We can do
All right. Cool.
Yeah, and then we'll go over that, and then we'll go over what happened in the show. So, yeah.
Wee. Honk. All right. Well, Jimmy D.
Honestly, I'm grateful for the Uplift community because, yeah, the way that like the positivity in there. I sent away a couple EOS Detroit NFTs as well today because there were people in the Telegram who were actively helping other people try to understand what comes next, what's happening, what the drop. I
saw it myself this morning.
And yeah, these people are awesome, and we wouldn't exist nearly to the extent that we do without the awesome community that we have. So yeah, I'm extremely grateful for the Uplift community, Uplift Art, Uplift Nation, Uplift World. Every project we have amazing community members. And it's just a massive boon in this market to be able to have this positive, amazing community.
Yeah.
How about you, mate? What are you grateful for?
I'm copying you, dude.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm pretty sure that was probably what you were going to say. Anyway, we just had it in a different. It's hard though, right? Like we do a lot of things together, you and I. So a lot of the shared experiences that we have, you're on the right track when like some of your best shared experiences are actually the same as the other person who's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So. All right, so I will
screenshot that. Yeah, load that website up, and we'll get over there.
Yeah, I'll share the screen here. So yeah, this project, I think I really need to. There we go. Whenever you're ready, you can probably see that now. So this project is called Graffiti NFT.
That's cool.
And it's by a couple of people that I've actually worked with on other projects. So they're really cool lads. I really like them. We're hoping to have them on the show actually, probably very soon. Maybe the next opportunity will be after the Crown DAC. But as I said, the release goes in about 4 hours from now. So that's why we wanted to do this today. As per the mechanics, if you go to their website, obviously graffitinfts.com, you can read all about it. But I just think it's a really cool idea, right? Like it's pretty artistic and it's pretty neat, you know. Like at the heart of the collection is the spray can. I mean, of course, you're graffiti, right? And they're used to tag and upgrade and combine to rarer versions. They have a specific NFT collection that you want to tag. Let us know in the Telegram. So for all of you people who have your own collections of NFTs, and hopefully, again, once we get them on, we can have other projects ask questions and then demo, how they're going to bring other projects into the mix. I like it. The lingo's great for me. A typical tech club requires one spray can to create a new NFT rarity. These numbers vary. Every time that happens, the NFTs are burned. They've got, common, uncommon, limited, scarce, rare, and ultra rare. And yeah, the other things you can read about on the site, they've got, it's pretty simple, pretty basic. But yeah, like I said, 3 hours, 44 minutes, their drops go on sale.
That's kind of interesting. So they're basically selling, so if I understand this correctly, right? The spray cans are going to be used basically to tag an NFT, right? Yep. And so it's like the Art Planet, they're basically doing, you stake stuff, you get ether, and you use the ether to basically pay for creating elements, and so that whole gamification. So instead of doing a token, they're kind of just doing another NFT.
Yeah, so I guess it's going to start with internal collection, but their goal in the end is to work with every collection on Wax to either tag a piece from their collection or bring in some of their collection styles effects into their own. So it's going to be a really collaborative effort. And yeah, I kind of understand it the same way as you. They're going to begin the test cases with their own, but I wouldn't be surprised someday to see, an uplift or an uplift art NFT somehow connected to this collection. If with what I think they're going to do, but yeah.
Right.
Again, read about what they're putting out on their site, follow their Twitter, ask any questions that you might have in their Telegram if you're listening in the audience, because we haven't had them on yet, so we're no experts. If I know a couple of them are actually watching the show live, maybe. If they have anything else that they want to add to this, please feel free, and we'll shout it out to the audience. But yeah, really cool, super cheap. Super. I don't have any wax, but I probably can come up with 25. I'm just going to say that.
Right. That's actually something. It's funny. I'm sort of obsessed with recreating the cluster map, and one of the feedback that we got from the rail is, there were some people that kind of couldn't get in, just cost, right? Because the lowest price is sort of 1,000 wax or whatever, right? We get that. So I'm sort of I'm thinking about. Because we were going to do with the land sale, we were going to have it all just kind of go for $100 and, have fun. And then, of course, do the auctions for location and that kind of thing. But I think I'm going to make a smaller one that is $50.
I've actually been thinking about this for a long time, right? And I haven't mentioned it personally, but I think running the test case the way that we have it is the perfect opportunity to suss things out and get this feedback, like you said.
Right.
But me thinking the way that I am, I think that the world is going to be so big that there's going to be plenty of opportunity for other projects. And
yeah, it totally will. It is the thing with the way we're going to have to decentralize everything now. It's still, we can still scale at will, right? That part's not going to be a problem. It's just a matter of the way the game, sort of server dynamics are going to work. We just sort of have to make many small maps. We have to decentralize. Weird that a bunch of NFT crypto types are like, oh, you mean we have to decentralize? And then the ideas just started exploding anyway. So that was really good. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack.
I like when you hijack. It makes me feel a little bit better about the normal times that I get to you.
You could just banking up some. Okay, I'm here for it.
No, I'm days ahead. I'm on the other side.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get you basically have to get it 2 to 1 to me, but we're working on it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I just want to remind, I think what you're saying is 100% valid. I mean, we're using, we're using a lot of what we do to as proceeds towards like going towards building a school. Like people,
Yeah.
we complain about Ethereum DeFi all the time. So if we didn't bring this up, we would be the ultimate hypocrites, right? How often do we say on this show, right? Ethereum DeFi is rigged. It's basically banking 2.0 because the average person can't afford to play. And that's not what we're about here. We want people to experience it and come in. However, I will say this. Also, don't forget the people in the audience that the community clusters, right? Like the land that is going up for sale is in between the community cluster plots, right? The community clusters themselves will be able to dole out little pieces of land to their communities on their own terms. So if you're an active member of the community and the community decides to gift you that land, then that's a possibility. Not every single piece in the land will be sold. Some of it was designed by design to be given to communities to be gifted out. So there are other avenues in the game, but yeah, there's always going to be cadavers and things like this. Sorry, I hijacked you, but I just want people to remember that, right? Like,
yeah, no, it's important, and again, like, yeah, we're learning all the time. Actually, I have the leadership channel open, and we're getting feedback about maybe adding a part of the sale to happen for the Asia or European markets, like just a different time zone, and so we're probably going to add that or some version of it to the next thing, right? So again, and like it's been the sort of mantra of this project, because we want to be first, move fast, and break things. And now, like, moving fast, we're gonna make mistakes. I'm telling you right now, this is gonna happen, right? Of course it is. And really, like, the thing we didn't know about, like, we can't have a big map. It's gonna be a bunch of small maps. We caught it relatively early. Huge thank you to Ben, our friend, for helping us out, sort of realizing that sooner, right? And we're going to figure that out, and we're going to sort of clean up what needs cleaning up. That's actually the next 2 days of my whole life, reshaping what the maps look like. Now, instead of one 2D map, you're going to have many 2D maps, but they're going to load fast. They're going to look pretty, right? Like, just everything sort of coalesces from that. And so, we're going to have like the multiverse thing. And anyway, so the map's going to look a little bit different if you've been paying attention to the 2D map, but it'll have the same vibe, and it will load faster. So it's pretty cool.
Why send Bitcoin or Ethereum when you can, send EOS? I mean, I'm just saying, it kind of makes sense to have slower, smaller versions that load faster in the game experience, right?
There you go. Right.
So, and just to clarify, HODL EOS, before we move on, said Tags is one of the people, behind this project that's on the screen now. If you don't know HODL EOS, you really should look him up on Twitter. He does some great tutorials. He's been in the space for a long time. Has worked for a number of DACs and projects, and like really awesome tutorials to follow as well. But he said Tags will start out internal to show how it works, but then they will start working with other collections, starting with smaller collections, to help them gain exposure. Which is really cool. It's kind of like a promotional tagging.
I want to test an idea, and because we have to make the cluster 2.0, right?
Okay.
Like we already do, right? Like anyone who hasn't started building, like we're gonna have to move it over there, because it's like map size has a max of around 5,000 meters or 5 kilometers now per side. And population density and server density. So there's some things we need to figure out, right? And it's not, now that we've figured it out, it's not gonna be hard to do. It's just a matter of work. But it means that now iterates. That's like a subset part. And so for whether you're a giant record label who wants to make a really big sort of NFT music video music store gallery, or HODL EOS, right? Who wants to, like a collection like this that wants to build their own community around themselves, right? So basically, there's just like the central node of, okay, these communities are going to have the ability to sort of interact with the graffiti system, and you're sort of building a community of communities. That's what got my attention. Why I wanted to kind of like stop everything.
Yeah.
I don't know that as a company we can afford to make that into its own cluster. yet. But maybe we could start a group where we can chat with you guys and think in terms of, okay, like, because we're developing like our cost model right now for what this is gonna cost and sort of what the demand would be like. But like if somebody came to me, let's put it this way. If somebody came to me and said, okay, graffiti has a number of Twitter followers, like size of the community is sort of how we're looking at these things initially, right?
Right.
So it's got a pretty decent community, but there's 40 smaller projects that have been getting bigger, and these are all 40 of those projects. What would it look like if we started like a community, basically a community cluster just for them, right? Because and so then working backwards from there, okay, as a team, you guys think, okay, here's our target, here's what we need to do. We need like 20 to 40 awesome projects, and even if they're just getting started, fine, right? But we look at all of that stuff and look at what those growth models might be and what that might look like. And then maybe you have like a purpose-built world that's just designed around this system, right? And we release that again, if the numbers work, we release that all at once and do like community cluster again, but just for you guys. So you guys are in there building, you're making shows about it, you're like copying basically the protocol that we did to do this launch, and you guys get the same sort of commensurate free land and little plots that we did with the community cluster, and we come in behind and offer the rail and the land and whatever.
Yeah. I like the idea. What's really cracking me up right now is I just had like a moment of crystal clarity realization that like out of all the shit that Ethereum gives EOS because you have to pay for an account, every single one of these like virtual like VR social gathering places like Decentraland, you have to pay big bucks just to get in there. We're giving freaking community clusters away from free. I'm just saying.
Well, this is
play, right? Like
well, and again, I think everybody who's actively building in the community cluster bought Rail.
Yeah.
Right. And I knew that was likely to happen. Right. And that was part of our calculation. And really, and it comes from, and this is sort of always been an operating principle for me anyway. It all comes down to community. If you don't have a vibrant community of people doing things they love and communicating that to each other and creating really, really cool things and doing it as a community in a place like where they're bumping up against each other and having ideas and inspiring each other or whatever, then, there's no power there. But if you put that together first, now there's a ton of power there. And that's honestly, it's why we're getting attention from the kinds of people that we're getting attention from now. And like the next cluster that's in my brain is sort of the mega cluster of all of the clusters. And it's like, 50 of the biggest brands in the United States. Right. But at the same time, like off the same hub, it like right off the cathedral, you go into our like Stargate portal room or whatever the heck it's going to be. And, you could find a hub that goes like, hey, here's where all the upstarts are. Right. These are the small NFT projects that are up and coming and doing really innovative and cool things. Go through this door. You're going to find, Hot Leos and Uplift Art and fucking Ken Bozak or whatever. Right. Like the kinds of things that are at the very bleeding edge of innovation and fun and whatever, and they're just getting started. But at the same time, like you'll be rubbing shoulders in a proximate way to the giants, if I can help it at all. Right? We don't have anybody signed yet, so this is like I'm not announcing anything, but like these are the kinds of conversations that we're having and that I'm planning on having like quickly.
And people watching this might not realize this, but like generally speaking, like I'm actually quite quiet, collective, and thoughtful in the back rooms of what we do with Uplift, with the Uplift stuff. However, I do have a super bitchy side to me, and I don't ever expect this to be an issue. But I want to say, like, because I don't actually think that Corey thinks anything otherwise or anyone else thinks anything otherwise, right? But like I want to say, like, it's really important to me that the people who came into this project, because here's the thing, what you said is 100% right. We did all of this with essentially zero advertising. The only advertising that we actually really did was a little bit of advertising on the show, and M Blue did a couple of episodes. Like all of the other advertising came from like the community, right?
Yep.
And we got this big this fast just because of the community. Like it's insane. And so my thing is like, you know, the people who got these rail plots, the people who are in this original community cluster, I want them to see, you know, the biggest benefits, even if it's only the benefits like of transportation over that area, right? Now, we don't know what's going to happen because like you said, we had server problems where we need to further decentralize things like that. But like, that's one of the things that like I might actually bitch about if it comes to pass that it doesn't, because that's really important to me. But I don't see it coming to pass because I think like Corey and Blue and other people who are involved in this, like understand the power of community and not ticking them off, especially after, you know, especially after this last 24 hours, because again, you guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Like not everything was perfect. And not only did you not get angry, did you not get pissy, did you not get bitchy, you actually came to us like in a productive kind of way, some of you, and you said, yeah, that was kind of problematic and it didn't really work, but how about you guys try this, and gave us a ton of great ideas to put, you know, on the planning book and paper. So
can confirm.
I know that we don't have that long today, and we do want to we do want to cover a couple more things before we get out of here. So do you want to let's quickly go over what we did last week, because you know I think it's kind of tradition. It happened twice.
Okay.
And then quickly next week, maybe 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna probably do the random number generator thing after the show. Got 6 NFTs to give away from these.
Do you have any Genesis NFTs? Because if you do, give one of those away too, and I'll send you one.
I might have. I gotta check my account. These were actually sent to our official account.
Yeah. Let me see if I'm logged in here. I am. I'll drop a claim link in the thing right now.
So I've got that's what I mean. I've got the official account pulled up. I don't have the.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't have my personal account.
Don't worry about it at all.
Yeah, we can do that in the show. So right. Let's say. I don't know. I just like random numbers. So Boyd's doing something interesting. Boyd's drop happens on the 9th. For some reason, they've decided to keep some random mint numbers for their team. Yeah. So if you're the third person to drop your wax address in the comment that doesn't work because nobody's going to do it. Anyway, that was a nice try.
They're just going to wait. Yeah. I mean, the sentiment was good. The logistics were not good.
Just drop your wax account. We'll pick some random people in the comments and we'll pick some random retweeters. So Monday, Corey and I had fun. We basically just toured the Uplift BP plots.
Excuse me. Nope.
Corey and I, Corey, that's the closest Corey and I have ever come to blows, because we were on the Jenner EOS plot and he started breaking shit and flooding the whole thing. But yeah, it was fun. I did actually open it up more because of you, and it was pretty cool.
Awesome.
And I don't know if you saw it. There was a tweet that went out yesterday with the finished version. Thank you, Greg, for helping me out with that, of Generosity Island. And it's the logo on the 2D map, but it's like a mountain and a harbor on the game site.
Oh, that's awesome, because I just saw the 2D map logo today, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the video that Greg took was awesome. Like it at night. So Greg put like white blocks between the lines of the different colors because it's a heart shape with like different colors. And I changed all of the white blocks just for you, Corey. I changed all of the white blocks to sea lanterns. So at night, it like right. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. On Tuesday, we did. What did we do on Tuesday?
Okay, hold on. So we had BP and Chill. That was fun. That was Seth from Boyd.
Right.
We did like the tour of their stuff. Yeah, their build is ridiculous.
Their
like completely ridiculous.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say then Greg and I did coffee in the uplift, and we just ended up at USA, the block producer / Mike, who locked me in some TNT. Luckily, it didn't explode. That was very scary. Movie scary.
I would just want to go back to Seth and Boyd.
Yeah.
So actually, March, I believe 8th, which is so I gotta check, but March 8th or 9th, I can't remember. Follow their Medium and Twitter if you haven't. Their second Scientist series auction is going on sale. It's pretty interesting dynamic. They're releasing 36 coins again as a recap, and each coin is released every 12 hours, and the auction for that coin will last 24 hours. And at the end of the auction, the people who are holding those 36 coins will get dropped 5 NFTs of various 4 rarities. And those NFTs will contribute both to the Boyd mining for the next season. And because of the way that the Boyd game is structured, it will also contribute to the battery power within the game. So even if you're not on Boyd, to be honest, like go get one of those NFTs because they're super freaking cool, man. I've kind of taken a liking to your your comments about hyper intelligent monkeys and monkey brain on the show, Corey. And we're kind of scientists, and Boyd is the epitome of science in USIO. So they're really cool, and this Scientist series is awesome. So
yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to it, man. And like just a great bunch of that their team is awesome too. Like the vision that they have is really good. They were actually like one of the first projects that I saw in USIO. It's like that the SETI project. I kind of remember you could like make your computer like crunch astronomical data while you were as a screensaver or whatever back in the day. And so they've basically taken that to like the nth degree and tokenized it. So you're mining a token while right now like crunching COVID data, like you're saving the world, making Boyd token while your computer's not doing anything else. Like it's brilliant. And so of course they've gone into making this game, and they even back then, like the Boyd thing from the jump had a gamified experience that I yelled at everybody about because this is the way. This is the way you do it, right? They're making tribes, they're making teams. Everybody's like competing against each other. That like the gamification tweaks that inspire us hyper intelligent monkeys. They were hitting on a lot of cylinders, right? And so I learned a lot from watching them. And so this next iteration is going to be awesome. I just like feel pretty confident about saying that right now.
Yeah, fair enough. All those episodes were great. My favorite, I love Seth. I speak to him on almost a daily basis. Same with you and Greg. You speak to him on a daily basis. So like we do have these connections with people. But my favorite episode of the week, honestly, like with the exception of like all of the madness that happened around the uplift, was our Media Moguls episode, because we had Max and Dwayne on, and like I found all of the connections that I didn't even know I had with Dwayne about the permaculture, about the blockchain and stuff like that, just fascinating. And it was just, I just really enjoyed, I like the first article I ever wrote in the blockchain space was how permaculture and blockchain are essentially compatible, and they come from the same roots. They just attack the problem in a different way. So it's really cool for me. No offense to Max, because Max is on the art side of things, and he's a really interesting person to listen to too. But like it was really for me to hear Dwayne's take on all that.
Yeah, so you guys nerded out all the way on that, which was really fun to watch. All right, so then G Money and I actually went live with USA Michael. I can't even remember why we did that. Mostly just fun, I guess. It was good. Taking a tour of the thing. Thursday, what did we do Thursday? Just kind of hung out, probably talked about the uplift for an hour.
Yeah, we did the ESI weekly update. And wasn't that the episode that Anders also jumped on with us kind of last minute?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. He was in the comments and we were doing that. We were talking a little bit about the uplift. I think we were touring. Oh yeah, and you didn't make your morning coffee, so you just kind of no, I can't remember. It might not have been the Anders one, but you didn't make your morning coffee, so you just kind of disappeared, and I used my monotone voice to go over the Medium article news. That's what happened for the beginning, and for the end, I think we just chilled out and had some fun. So we might change the EOSIO weekly update, which it's kind of sad because that's kind of where we started way back, like last year, like summertime. But we're so busy right now, and we've got so much going on this channel, and a lot of the stuff that we cover, like maybe we can just do a post. We don't necessarily need an episode. And one of the ideas that I really hope that we can do, if we have time, I really like that the next episode that we did was the Uplift Begins. There was one in the middle. We'll go back to that in a minute. But the Uplift Begins, which was NFT game day on Friday, and we didn't even actually know. Like this is the second. This is the first. What else did we mess up? Because things always come in threes, man. Like the first NFT game day that we decided to have a group roundtable. We had no idea that we would be capped at 10 guests, right? And I think we had like 15 scheduled.
Yeah. And I think we can upgrade it. I just need to know for next time, because I didn't even think of that. But there is a 10 cap on it or whatever. But
we can upgrade, but I actually think that 10's a good number, right? Like it's not too little, right?
And you've been obsessed ever since with like doing this on a weekly basis, which I love, right? Because like it was always our vision, Jimmy and I, from the beginning of doing this kind of collection of shows, that we wanted to have like we sort of have a decent. It's mostly Jimmy, frankly, but like, I'm being introduced to a lot of cool people. Like we know, and we're getting to know, and we want to get to know all of the people that are running the communities and projects in our ecosystem, right? And we figured, okay, since we want to do this anyway, let's make that a show so that all of you guys get to know all these people, right? Like you're gonna know who Adriana from Cypherglass is. You're gonna know who EOS USA Michael's a fucking jackass. Just kidding. He's like really cool, but like he's a total character, and everybody else is too, right? So I think doing those panels, you really get and even if we do it on a topic, right? Because we're doing it about the Uplift, and it's probably always going to be about the Uplift. But figuring out different, maybe that a panel is about governance. And it's just like, bring 3 thoughts about it or whatever. Right? We could organize a little bit.
100%. Block producers. Like imagine EOS USA, Adrian. Having them all together.
I think it's almost. I don't think we intended this, but like the Dackathon thing that Crown is putting on, it's going to take over our show for a couple weeks, which I'm excited about, right? Because we don't have to book shit. We can just learn stuff, because I don't know anywhere near enough about DACs or DAOs or how they work, right? But yeah, like they're basically putting these panels together and having conversations about stuff, and we're, again, all of you people watching this, you're on the bleeding edge of everything, right? Governance structures, how we're bootstrapping into the metaverse, how like all these crazy things, and we get to talk to all the people. I get excited about it. I get to talk to all the people that know so much more than me, and it was doing that, like interviewing people over and over and over again, that showed me that all of the pieces that we need to build the Uplift existed. And then it was just a matter of like, who wants to come build this with me? And then I got lucky and met, Blue and Jimmy, and the rest is, will be history soon.
It's interesting, like perspective is, life is really all about perspective. And that's interesting, because it's funny, because like everything that you said resonated with me on the same plane, but at a completely different level. Because like for me, why I'm so hyped up about this roundtable is because that's what I see you created with the Uplift, with the community.
Yeah.
Ideas, right? Like,
yep.
So I just see a natural progression into this thing that we've been doing, right?
Well, and then like you guys watching right now, there's 13 people watching right now. Like in 6 months, I want one of you to come to me and say, listen, like watching your show and the panels that Jimmy just wouldn't shut up about until you guys did them. Watching those panels showed me that I could do this, right? And now I'm building it in the Uplift, and holy shit. And then we're going to have you on, because that's going to happen. I hope, right? That's the whole point, right? It's awesome for us, clearly. And it's only going to get more awesome for us. But the reason why we're doing this live is because the entire ecosystem, if you guys go build something awesome, everyone benefits, right? And if you create, if you know the kinds of things that EOS USA Michael it really loves and is interested in or whatever, like that, relationships can be built from that. You're going to meet people in these spaces that are building NFT projects, that are building other things or whatever, and then suddenly something will crystallize for you, like, oh my goodness, all the pieces for this beautiful thing I want to create exist out in the world, and you'll know who to talk to, right? So anyway, I'm ranting now.
No, it's okay. Like, it's funny because like this is our one show that we do every week at the same time, but we don't announce, and our numbers are always way lower, so it cracks me up.
Hold on, I have to show you something. This is our leadership channel, but like, I don't give a shit. You need to see what just happened. So for context, I need to stop sharing this screen here. For context, do you guys? Well, I'm going to ask everyone here. Do you guys know who Engine is? ENJIN, right? So they decided to build, or they basically have a plugin where you can have cryptocurrency rewards out of Minecraft. But instead of doing it themselves, they offer that as a service. So we looked at just using them as a service to build up what we wanted to do. And it was all on Ethereum. So like instantaneously, I was like, hard pass. Like we can't do what we want to do with microtransactions. And it just, thank you, but good luck with that, right? And so Dennis is like he's like the guy who built the website, the guy who sort of built the NFT sale. Like he's like a freight train, but a freight train with like a deep aesthetic sense in a way that I just don't have. For me, it's just like, does it work? Yes, cool. Like draw some stick figures on it and send it out the door. Luckily, I'm not in charge of that because that's stupid, right? But he's the one making the NFTs beautiful and the website beautiful, whatever, right? And so I don't think he slept in 4 days. Like I think he probably slept. I told him, like, listen, I don't even want to talk to you tomorrow. And what's really fun too, because in the dev channel, I'm supposed to go in and do like sort of an executive summary, like this is kind of where we're at. Let's get all our ducks in a row, whatever, every day, right? Which I do most days. Some days I'm getting better. Anyway, so I went in this morning and did a big, huge kind of wall text. This is where we're at. Holy shit, what just happened? Like, and this morning, right off the bat, we're going to town. We're doing work now, right? And just wanted to get that stuff focused out. So I wrote for like a half hour, probably, whatever, and pasted it. 2 seconds later, 9 pages of stuff comes from Dennis. Like he can do the same thing. Just like, anyway, he just posted in the Telegram channel something really adorable. So that was like a lot of, I don't even know if you guys are gonna be able to see this down here. Engine? Who is Engine? And you guys can't see this, but it's the Genesis land sale. Step into a new world entirely made by you. Real keys sold out. Scratched through it. And land key sale in 5 days. And this is the thing. Nothing against Engine because they proved that we could do this. And like they're tokenized, so they're like everything's going to run on their token. So they might actually be able to get away with doing things internally that don't require the stupid Ethereum transaction fees and stuff. And they're doing it as a service, as a platform, which is also really interesting because, and I've been saying this for months, people will copy this, right? This is a thing that we're putting together mostly with off-the-shelf technology. That's why we picked Minecraft. We don't have to build the metaverse; it's built. We just need to grab that physical manipulation layer and then attach all the cool shit, NFTs, cryptocurrency to it, right? So people are absolutely, there's no walled garden around this. There's no way to like iTunes it so that only we could ever have a metaverse like this. And I know that, right? And so we're basically just going to turn around and go, we're going to have the best community out there because that's what's going to matter, right? It doesn't matter that Bing builds a better product if they have, I don't even know, because I use Google and so does everybody else, right?
Yeah, that's that. And honestly, I am with you like on almost everything that you said, obviously with the uplift stuff, but like with the Ethereum stuff as well. That's the one worry that I have is like, we could actually be the QWERTY keyboard in EOS IO or EOS to the sorry, Ethereum could be the QWERTY keyboard because the QWERTY keyboard, man, I'm rambling. The QWERTY keyboard is not the most efficient keyboard, right? Like right. There have been more efficient keyboards that have been designed, but nobody uses them, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think we're headed there. But Linkara Crypto said, I love Engine. Me too. The only thing I dislike about them is that they're on Ethereum, and they're actually the one of the few projects on Ethereum that, like, despite being on Ethereum, could give a lot of EOS.io chains a run for their money, right? Like,
Right. Well, and
so many things with wallets, with the gaming.
yeah.
Like Ultra is doing awesome things, Wax is doing awesome things, but even is serious competition despite the fees. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And they also, like, just a few weeks ago, it looked as if they signed a deal with Microsoft to basically build out some educational stuff. So, like, it's clear now that, you know, Microsoft is willing to kind of make deals with projects like us. And we're very excited about that, right? Because, like, again, the Minecraft layer, that's like, you know, we need that right now, right? We're going to bootstrap to other things in the future, like VR and, you know, purpose-built worlds that you know, we have the capital to design later on, yada yada yada, right? Like, you know, there's a scaling solution that doesn't always include Minecraft in our future, but right now, like, it's the best thing that we could do. So anything that we can do to create a good relationship with Microsoft was always kind of on our plan, and then Engine just showed that it could be done. So it's huge. And so that you know, I have a great deal of gratitude for what they did. And maybe they just didn't know about Wax. I'll bet you anything they're, like, looking at Wax in different chains now, because why wouldn't they? And, you know, keep the portal open to Ethereum, which is what Wax is trying to build on now, right? You want to. There's so much capital flowing around there that it makes sense to create little roads to, you know, off ramps for all that money. So, you know, we'll see. The future is going to be weird, I'll tell you that, but it's gonna be fun.
I'm okay with the work with Microsoft as long as I don't have to be on the advisory board for their educational policy, because somebody's going to be a lot more hurt than me on that day.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's it. Damn, Daniel. Boy's got opinions.
Yeah, what was your take on? I guess we're finished the week, I think. What was your take on the live stream? I know, like, that was my favorite episode of the week, because, like, I just want to, like, meme the whole thing, because, like, you know, there were periods of time where you were just, like, on the phone in the background talking to yourself, and I thought it was just hilarious. Like, it deserves to be a meme.
Did you say meme?
Yes, I did say meme.
I fucking love this so much.
And you know what's the best part about that is you knew I was going to say it. Now this was brilliant.
It's so good.
We pulled some of these up the other day. Like, that is that really needs to be.
Yeah. It's just, it needs to be, and this is the thing, like, we need to release those memes as limited edition NFTs, because I want one. And really, like, those, because we've been talking about, okay, how do we want to design the buffs? I think because again, like, we want to have NFTs sort of discoverable in the world, right? The same as cryptocurrency rewards, you're going to have, like, a small chance of finding an NFT at any time, basically, right? Like, we want that randomness because it's super fun. And when you get an NFT, like, maybe you get that meme, but it's that meme with, like, a little, you know, data point on the bottom that says, like, you're you know, and this is like the monument thing or whatever, right? Or the rail. It makes more sense. So anytime you're traveling on the rail now, you actually get 1% more Wax rewards just for having this in your wallet, right? And then, you know, we've got so many ideas to gamify that, like, you know, whether it's the building class NFTs or the, you know, mining class NFTs, whatever it is, different actions when you have different NFTs will give more and more and more rewards. So you're, like, sort of building up this, like, max experience of being able to be a baller in the world, and they'll be buyable and sellable and trailable, right? So, like, if you find yourself, you know, moving material around in one of the survival worlds, which is coming, you know, and you're gonna have to, like, buy rail, like, move stuff around or what have you, and, you know, you might want to focus on only having Wanderer class NFTs as power ups. So if you find a Builder class NFT and that's not really your jam, you're gonna be able to sell it. It's a fucking NFT. Just go put it on the secondary market and have fun.
You're not going to be happy, but I just had a really fucking brilliant idea that we'll talk about later.
Why when I hold on? Sometimes you're like, I'm going to throw. Remember last time in the show, you're like, I'm going to throw you under the bus, and then you just bragged about me for a half hour. I'm like, I don't think you understand what throwing under the bus means, dude. Like, that's not how this works.
I wasn't throwing you under the bus. I kind of felt bad about that today, actually, to be honest. But I wasn't throwing you under the bus. I was throwing the importance that you yeah, fair enough. I was pointing out that, like, I get why you like the sunset, but the sunset for me is way less important than.
Well, it's sunrise, but whatever. I like the sunset too.
Yeah, then hearing your, like, You say you like watching the sunrise, but I don't believe that you like watching the sunrise. I believe that you like the time to sit and think and meditate and what you say after.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're not. I guess they're not different, right? Like I'm basically baking in the sunrise as a trigger with practice, right? And so like we do the gratitude practice, and we all come together to observe that moment of silence. And you're right, it's that time to just be like 5 breaths, 10 breaths, and everyone else is silent. And that whole time I'm trying to sit in that intention of gratitude or whatever. And what's really interesting is I never know what I'm going to say at all. I'm just thinking, what can I give to my community right now that has been good for me this week, basically, right? And some are more profound than others. Probably a lot of them are less profound than most of the others.
I mean, I'm sure Leon's just thinking about when he can throw a snowball.
That all of them do, and this it's one thing if you do that when I'm speaking, that's fine. But like if you throw a snowball when somebody else who's like live and doesn't do this all the time is being vulnerable, and I'll fucking boot you to the moon. and I've done it, right? Like, and I'll teleport you so far away you'll never make it back. But I mean, the guy that did it last time didn't really know the rules or whatever. So, and I think that to sort of get into the cathedral, we'll start organizing that, because it's going to get busier and busier all the time, right? Like the day when there's hundreds of people hanging out on the floor of the cathedral when we do that in game is coming. It's coming.
I don't know. It'd be way more fun to just teleport them into a box of Michael USA, EOS USA.
Could you imagine? Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I know that we're really busy and we need to wrap this up. But I want to talk about next week a little bit. We've got a few ideas. We're super busy. We're going to be kicking off the Decathlon with Crown Decathlon on Thursday. As Corey mentioned, I'm pretty excited about this too, because we don't have to book people, and we're going to meet interesting people that we're not booking. So it's going to be a completely new experience for us, because usually we only book people that we like, and I'm sure we're going to like these people, but we don't really know if we like them or not. We're going to have to kind of be a little bit nice. Just kidding.
Hey, can I tell you something random?
Yep.
The lowest price for Alien Worlds land right now is $800 fucking dollars.
Sorry, one more time. The lowest price for Alien Worlds land is $800.
$814. Yep. And you know what you can do with that? And here's the thing. I think this is really good, because come hell or high water, whether it's with us or I know they've been thinking about this for a long time. The Alien Worlds is a great team. They're going to be doing some amazing things. And we're working on how to make the win-win-win situation that will just bootstrap everybody's whatever, so that those land NFTs are associated with an area in the uplift. So you think the land is valuable now, right? Wait till it's a plot you can build on, right? Like that to me is just I love that idea so freaking much, because why it's going to imbue those pieces with so much more value when the uplift is going to have land for sale and rail for sale around those things, when the uplift donate for all that stuff, when Trillium is mineable in the uplift, when everybody's land value has the potential to go up everywhere around there, and by dint of that everywhere else win, right? It's we're going to need a bigger boat to put all the wins in it. And I like it, Jimmy. I like that. It's fun.
Yeah. And it's interesting to me to see, our planet has done it. It looks like Graffiti NFT is doing it. We've been thinking about this for a long time, and we've gone a lot deeper than we've actually went on to the show, because I hope you guys figured this out. We want to under promise shit and deliver really good stuff. That's our whole system, right? We're gonna screw up. We're gonna say things that are wrong. We're gonna build something, rip it down, and then build it again because it didn't quite work. But it's going to be fucking awesome. I honestly do believe that in my heart of hearts. So, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how other projects incorporate their NFTs into our ecosystem, into this ecosystem. So, yeah, 100%. And so I read today, what was it? 12. I mean, again, these land NFTs weren't realistically supposed to be this expensive. They were pretty flippin' expensive because the price of wax just didn't wait, right? Like it mooned, right? Like I think by design, you mentioned yesterday that the rail plots were actually cheaper than the land plots when the system was devised, right? But being the land plots were based in US,
they're tied to wax.
And the rail plots were based in wax, then that was like, you know, I was a little bit agitated, like, and I'm on the freaking team, man, because I'm just like, now I gotta go fucking unstake more wax, you know, like I've got no wax left.
What's weird is like, I think because we did it that way, and we need to study the economics of it. But what if rail is always 1,000 wax?
Yeah.
Right? Like, is that insane? Probably. But on Alien Worlds land piece right now, again, things are coming and they will produce, whether it's with us or somewhere else. I believe that. They're $800 right now. And you know what you can do on those, Jimmy? You know what you can do on those? You can click one button. Fine. Boink. Right? And seriously, I've done it a gazillion times, so it's not like it doesn't work. But that, again, I've said this a million times, but that clicking that button is what exploded my brain. Is like that action is every action in Minecraft, everything conceivable, and that number is infinite. So that's just like we need to build this thing right now. And so, you know, and again, they're going to create gamified experiences around that too, because they see it too, right? They're really smart people, so they're going to figure it out. Fucking $800 for Alien, that's like.
Yeah, I agree. And again, as a cadaver, we really like Alien Worlds, and they're geniuses.
As a cadaver? Did you want to maybe edit that out a little or something?
We don't edit.
As a dead body, Alien Worlds is a great group.
Maybe I got to check the pronunciation gallery.
What are you trying to say right now?
I don't know. I thought I was trying to say as a cadaver, but apparently I'm not.
Well, you know what a cadaver is?
I do, but I kind of thought that was a thing that people say.
It is not.
I only converse in English.
That cadaver over at Uplift Art, man, they're just like, whoo.
I only converse in English like a quarter of my life, so
that's fair. Okay, all right.
I mean, I'm super good at writing.
So like Japanese companies are like, man, that dead body over there they're rocking this week.
Dude, man, you should hear my Japanese. You think my English is bad?
I mean, you can speak 2 languages. I can barely speak one, so you get a gold star for that for sure.
Yeah, I fair enough, and I think that's a North American thing. Like, I hated French when I was a kid, but here's the thing. I will tell you, I don't speak about this very much. My brother, right? My brother, he lives in China. He's married to a Malaysian, but she's Chinese in heritage. He has twins. His kids, his wife, can speak 5 languages. His kids can speak, 3 languages, and they're 2. Like, this is nuts, right? Like, they can speak 2 forms of Chinese and English, right? Like, my students, they always say, "Oh, I don't want to learn English." I'm like, if you don't want to learn English, then study Chinese, because you're not going anywhere with Japanese, you know?
Apparently, Nick is watching right now. This just showed up in the leadership channel. Please hold. The cadaver pack in the Uplift.
I like it.
That's good shit.
Actually, funny story about Nick. Nick's name came up when I was in the Telegram channel today. There was a group conversation. I killed the Telegram channel today, by the way. I don't normally do these types of things, but very inappropriate memeing going on there by me. I used a serendipity meme that kind of said it was my stripper name, and then I realized that people actually know what I look like, so that might not be so appealing. That's maybe why we only have 13 viewers today. I'm just saying. But it was funny because I got to hear my, everyone was talking. They're like, "Hey, we're watching Jimmy live right now, like welcoming Nick to the team," and I'm like, I kind of want to go watch myself to know like what I'm saying, because I don't really remember what state I was in, and it's kind of like timeless Jimmy meets, real-time Jimmy in Telegram. There's a big variation difference. Wednesday, we're going to have Sean, which is probably one of our funnest guests of all time. I don't like saying this because we've become like a media news broadcast system, but Sean was hilarious when he was on here. We had so much fun with Sean.
He was funny.
And Yeah, that was
Like
super.
we had to call the paramedics to go to Bonds' house after the amount of burns that Sean leveled at him. Like the shade, and he's like super deadpan delivery too. So like part of me is like, damn, like I really want to go give Bonds a hug right now because this is brutal. So sad.
And yeah, and Bonds was in the comments, and
Oh,
you know, they're good friends, always good. If you haven't watched that episode, though, go back and watch it because it was super fun. We had a lot of fun doing that episode. Anyway, EOS Writer is releasing something called Crypto Finny, which is kind of a new Twitter channel, and I guess next. I can't remember whether it's the day before or the day after. I should have checked that, but I think on Tuesday, Finny comes to Earth. That's the headline. So I'm not really sure what's going on. So I'm kind of excited to hear about Crypto Finny from them. Tech Talk on Tuesday. We talked about this before. With all that's going on in the uplift and all the questions that are going on in the Telegram, we're really hoping to have a crystal clear infographic, hopefully, write up and relay on the show so that everybody knows what's going on with the land keys that are happening in 5 days, I believe, could be 4, but and the booster packs. We want to make sure that everyone is on the same page, that everyone understands things, that we are being the most optimal team that we can be and relaying this information so that you're not confused, so that you don't have to ask these questions in Telegram. And if somebody does ask these questions, I forget who pointed this out, but like it's fine to ask questions in Telegram, but we want people in the Telegram channel to be able to answer these as well. It does get confusing, and we understand that, and we understand that like researching stuff is sometimes difficult. So we want a crystal clear way for you to be able to look at what you have or what you need to get what you want in the upcoming land sale. And I think we're going to focus on that.
And really, like, so for rail, I was just telling somebody this in the Telegram. The easiest way to think about this, for every 3 rail you have, you want 1 Genesis NFT, right? That's boom. And, you know, there's going to be a new area that I'm going to survey out, and everybody's going to get a 50 by 50 plot in that equation, right? Every 3 rail that you have, you want to have at least 1 Genesis NFT, right? So if you have 6 rail, you want to have 2 Genesis NFTs. Because that 3 rail and 1 Genesis NFT is going to get you the little 50 by 50 gift. And it's not like that little. It's like the size of a rail plot. You're going to be able to build a lot of stuff on there. And buyable, sellable, tradable in a sea of other gifts. Like the more I think about this, Jimmy, the smarter it is. And it wasn't that smart because I just was like, how do we help? Basically, I'm always working backwards from, okay, the people that did the Genesis NFT, that bought them as collectibles, whatever, we said, okay, we're going to imbue this with value. We don't know what it is. So I'm constantly thinking, like, how do we put value into that? So people are like, fucking hey, this is awesome, right? And again, like we made it, like it ended up being a little bit complicated and hard to understand because we had to do off-the-shelf technology, off-the-shelf software, off-the-shelf techniques for the NFTs. But it's going to work, right? So we'll figure it out. But yeah, so sorry, I just made it complicated so much talking about it. I'm like, what are we talking? What was I saying?
I don't think you made it complicated.
I need more coffee.
And here, yeah, fair enough. I think we're almost going to wrap up anyway.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Like the way that these various things are structured so that different people, can participate and different people can tailor what they want, right? Like,
yep.
Some people might want land. Some people might want to focus on, rail plots. Like, I don't know what's going to win. I mean, it depends on your strategy. I mean, if you have a piece of rail that like people are just traveling over, and you have a piece of land that you build some awesome art installation that everyone comes to you, it might actually get you more, rewards in the game. We don't.
Yeah,
know.
That's the thing. There's no way for us. Like, we're setting up the initial boundary conditions, and then it's really what the community does and what the community wants is going to dictate it. So, Crypto Muscle, how's it going, man? When you open the gate of your servers, that's going to be 100% survival. No, there will be, especially now, like before we launch the full beta, I've sort of committed to, there's going to be areas that have, creative mode. But there's a lot of people who really, really, really want survival. So there are going to be, because we have to be decentralized, there's going to be different worlds. Like, you'll get into the uplift, and there's going to be effectively like a Stargate network And from a player experience, you're probably not even gonna notice to just walk through a door and you'll be somewhere else, right? But that somewhere else will have potentially different rule sets. And so, we want to do our best to give value, like top value, to people with the different sort of play styles that they want to be looking into. And so both are going to be available. Now, when both are going to be available, that I can't tell you at all. But we're looking at having both of those different versions. And like for when you first get in, it's very likely that creative will be turned on. Period. All right, I gotta run.
Yeah,
I gotta go to work.
We're going to be here all week. Tomorrow, again, we might not keep with the regular, theme schedule, but we got a lot of cool shit going on, so we don't always have to do that. And super excited to have you all with us on this journey. Most importantly, you, Corey. But yeah, the community as well. This is awesome and crazy, and I'm, ecstatic about where this is all headed.
Me too.
So.
I'm really excited to sort of get, we like map NFTs, drop all the NFTs to all the people that need them for the rail and for the land, like get the land sales done, use the probes, use the auctions, cool, done, creates a passport system, it's NFTs, have people getting into the game. Like that's like, I don't think, just so you guys know, I don't think about anything else. Right? It's like I work backwards from how do I get crypto muscle onto their plot with their kid if they have one or whatever. Right? Because that's like the thing that I think kind of hits me the most these days. Like, because we hear the story all the time, like people bringing their kids in, to build projects and that kind of thing. It's just like, it's good stuff. And what we need to do to accomplish that. So, I don't know if that's going to take 2 weeks or, a month, but I'm not going to stop until it's done. And our team, seriously, like I woke up thinking I was going to be the only person doing stuff this morning, and everybody was already freaking on fire at 5 a.m. like to build shit to make this happen. So like, I feel like I'm pretty intense about it. I'm surrounded by people that are more intense than me, and that's like gratitude on a stick. That doesn't make any sense, but you get the idea.
I don't even like games, but I couldn't turn Telegram off today.
It's good stuff. And again, people are asking lots of questions, but that's the amount of new people and new energy or whatever. And yeah, I scanned it briefly. It was too much to kind of read over this morning, but to everyone in the Telegram channel who's been helping everyone else, like happy crying emoji. It's good stuff. All right.
Just one final thing before we left. I'm gonna, I think we've got 7 wax addresses. We've only got 7 or 8 wax addresses, but I think we have other stuff in the account. I'm going to try to send everyone to drop their wax address in the comments
Sweet.
Right now after the show. Yeah. And yeah, we'll be here all week. As Hodolio said, land ain't cheap, but we're gonna do some really fucking cool shit with land. So I completely botched that ending. I was actually thinking about how many times you chopped earlier when you were so excited, and we never ended the cast. So I wasn't sure if it was mean to ask you to do it again, or if I should just do it multiple times until you press the stop button. Okay, I'm just going to give away NFTs then, and that's the end of it.